Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Lightpath Education Lunch and Learn. I want to thank you all for joining us today to learn more about Lightpath, our E-rate program, and what we do in the education marketplace. Lightpath at a glance, we're all regional, all fiber optic network service provider with 30 plus years in the marketplace, heavy into education, government, and the like. Largely in the New York metropolitan area, New Jersey, Long Island, Connecticut, more recently in the last couple of years, Massachusetts, and just recently announced our Miami marketplace, which is announced and opening early first quarter of 2023. We're really excited about that opportunity. And me being here for the last 22 years, it's exciting to see the rapid expansion that's gone on over the last few years. With that, we've connected to over 100 plus data centers, enabling all manner of connectivity to the cloud and data storage needs. And we pride ourselves on custom engineering networks for our customers, purpose building, purpose engineering networks to support the needs of large enterprise, schools, and other mission critical operations here in our service areas. We've done hundreds and hundreds of schools, thousands of school buildings throughout our footprints, and we're proud to say that we are a tremendous provider of education-based services. If we're seeing the slides here, I'm getting a note that we may not be seeing these slides. Ultimately, within the New York metro area, that's where our highest density of footprint is. We have 20,000 plus fiber route miles, 13 and a half, almost 14,000 fiber lit service locations, and ongoing expansions, as previously mentioned, are Massachusetts and Miami, but also right here in New York Metro, where we're building out through Queens, building further south in New Jersey, and building additional network capacity across the state of Connecticut to broaden our reach and enhance what we can offer to education customers as well as any manner of enterprise customers. And the Lightpath Difference being, our network. We own it, we operate it, we maintain it. We're not reliant on third parties for delivery of services. Gives us a lot of flexibility in terms of routes, how we handle those routes, how we build a custom network that meets customers' diversity requirements should they exist, but also just the capacity and the ability to deliver 800 gig on the backplane, 400 gig customer facing to the extent that you want it. We have the high capacity dark fiber cables to support customers who want ultimate control of their own network. And we also can build those custom routes leveraging rights of ways that have been in place for 30 plus years to give you enhanced levels of diversity and capacity. With that, our customer care is second to none. We call it our next generation customer care. Every customer gets the same dedicated support. You have a dedicated account team rolling up through the Lightpath leadership, dedicated support lines. We own, operate, and manage our own network management center for all your day two support needs. Things are always going to break. It's just a question of how quickly you react to them. So we pride ourselves on our ability to react to our customer needs and solve problems. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Chris Shekian, who is our Director of Education Sales. He's going to give you a little bit of an overview on E-rate.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody for joining today. I know time is so valuable. As Mike just introduced me, my name is Chris Shekian. I'm the Director of Sales. I specialize in government and education, and I'm super happy to be here today to talk to you about our E-rate products and services. So I want to let you know about our experience. So E-rate and you, our experience, Lightpath has been a USAC registered E-rate service provider since 1998. We support hundreds of applicants, including consortiums, districts, schools, and libraries. And we operate in New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and as Mike just mentioned, Florida. So Miami-Dade and Palm Beach counties. Super excited to open up that market beginning Q1 2023. So our robust Category 1 solutions as a premier service provider for the markets we serve, you can count on Lightpath for dedicated internet access, point-to-point, point-to-multipoint, and multi-point data services, as well as private fiber networks. and optical solutions. We also are super excited to talk about our Category 2 managed Wi-Fi product, which is E-ratable. So we offer a turnkey managed Wi-Fi solution, which includes all the controllers, the access points, the network, the ongoing maintenance. So really just a turnkey solution. You make the call, we come out, we evaluate the locations, and we provide you with the turnkey solution so your students and your staff can rely on in the time where bandwidth is so critically important and connectivity is so critically important. So with that being said, I know there's a couple of quick slides for me, but I'd like to turn it over to Ken Florenz. He's going to talk a little bit deeper about the products and services. So Ken, off to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining in. As Chris said, I have the pleasure of talking about many of the products and services that we support as the Director of Product here at Lightpath. And as you've seen in many of the other lunch and learns, you probably know that we have a pretty vast portfolio of various different products and services that we offer to the various different customers that we have. One of the great areas that I get to focus on as well is the E-rate construct. So what I did is I broke these slides out to make it easy for folks to talk about those products and services that are E-ratable first, and then those that are add-ons that may not be E-ratable afterwards. This way we have a clear line of delineation, and this way if there are any questions afterwards, we'll address those as they come in. But I want to start first with the Ethernet products. Obviously, all of our Ethernet services are across our entire 100% Lightpath fiber backbone and network. We have flexible connectivity, whether it's between your offices, out to data centers, landing stations, cloud providers, or any other digital destination that you folks may need to connect to, right? Whatever you need, let us know and we'll make it happen. We're flexible in the bandwidths that we offer as well as the services that we provide. We can go anywhere from 20 meg up to 10 gig. And actually on our Ethernet, we're growing, as you heard Chris talk about, even higher bandwidths. We offer 3 different Metro Ethernet standard frameworks for E-line, V-line, and E-LAN, right? Whether it's point-to-point, point-to-multi-point, hub and spoke, or any-to-any. It scales with whatever you need. We have service levels that we've worked to. And basically, our handoff options are flexible so that regardless of what the infrastructure is that you have, we facilitate that connectivity. You heard Mike talk about our state-of-the-art and top-of-the-line network management center and network operations center. They help keep things working and running, but our implementation is also highly reliable, right? It's a single standards-compliant platform for all types of business communication where we combine multiple services, if you need to, over Ethernet services, that flexible Ethernet pipe that we have. And we're cost-effective depending upon what you need. We try to make it simple, easy for you to understand, design it in a way that everybody can follow so that the day 2 support of that, or if there are any changes that need to happen, you can obviously just get in there and you're not fighting through trying to understand what's been put in place. So what I did on this next slide, and you'll probably all get a copy of this or you'll have a copy of this presentation, was just basically to outline by definition what our product and services are over that Ethernet construct. Right? Whether it's the E-line, point-to-point, connecting 2 businesses, V-line, hub and spoke, or E-LAN, anything to anything, depending upon the type of traffic that you need. I'm not going to read through all these slides. These are pretty standard definitions within the Ethernet world, but I wanted to include them here so that if anybody wanted to refer back to them at any point in the future, you had them there. Okay? Second, we have our optical transport. We're known for our fiber infrastructure and our delivery of those services, right? We have scalable. We are now one of the only carriers that can support up to 800 gigabits per second. We can get bandwidth for your applications that demand or use bursting. We can do that as well. We have wavelength offers that virtually are unlimited bandwidth capacity. You tell us what you need, we'll give you the bandwidth and the wavelengths that will help support that. We can channel multiple services over a single wavelength. We have point-to-point connections that can deliver subrate multiplexing on a dedicated layer 1 connection, plus flexibility to scale as your business grows. All right. We have low latency, high reliable capability, right? We have ultra fast, ultra transparent connections that we can customize. And that's where the partnership between your organization and ours are really crucial. And that's where we place a lot of emphasis as an organization, right? Anybody can do the standard cookie cutter, off the shelf type implementations. But when you need those complex, route diverse, application specific type implementations, that's where you're going to want to come to us, right? We are where you need it, how you need it, when you need it. Okay. I'll now talk about our internet service, right? Which is all still under that construct of E-ratable services, right? We are secure and we are reliable. We protect your critical data. We provide superior network availability and resiliency. Again, our bandwidths can opt from 20 meg all the way up to 100 gig, depending on what your scale and your needs and your requirements are. Our configurations, just like OTS, just like the Ethernet services, are fully flexible. And we can build those solutions that are needed for the various different type of implementations that you need, right? The design options that we have available are unmatched. And then we have now Cloud Connect. So what I did is I'm going to stop here for just a second and just kind of draw that line in the sand, right? And basically say, I don't know how we got to manage Wi-Fi, my apologies. But what we're going to do is I want to make sure that that's where we have the definition of E-ratable services. Now, when we talk about Cloud Connect is taking your universe, and many of you are schools, libraries, educational facilities. We can still use an Ethernet connection from your infrastructure out to cloud providers and believe that that could be an E-ratable service, right? But we would have to talk about it, figure out what's there and how we put this in place. But Cloud Connect is important because as you're in that educational construct, you know, a lot of the schools today use the Google infrastructure, right? For Google Classroom, Google Meet. And what will happen is a lot of those infrastructures will have a Cloud Connect capability out to that Google infrastructure, but they're routing over the internet. We are a direct partner, and we can get you directly over to Google without ever having to leave our core, right? Same with AWS, same with Microsoft. And we are working right now with Oracle to get that in place as well. So what does that mean to you as a consumer of that? Is that you are no longer routing across the internet with your traffic being open to anyone that's on the cloud. It's economical because if we use our Ethernet construct or our OTS construct, which are E-ratable, then you could utilize those infrastructures to get to where you need to be. And also it's secure and resilient, as I mentioned. Next, I'll expand quickly on what Chris had mentioned before in terms of our managed Wi-Fi. Our managed Wi-Fi is a complete turnkey solution, as he mentioned, and it is completely hands-off at the end user side so that it's a set it and forget it type environment. Should things need to change, obviously call us, we take care of it for you as that managed service, right? It is custom built. We build it on an MRC basis, although if you wanted to put money down up front to help offload those costs, you can do that as well, right? It will include indoor, outdoor, all the switches, all the access points, the controllers, the support, the management as an all-inclusive package, because we have realized, and the feedback that we've received from our various different customer base folks is that they don't have the time and a lot of times the expertise to support, implement, and construct that environment. So we have basically taken that whole role away, and we're going to do that for you for one low monthly cost, right? And we do an engineering design with a heat map that we show you the various different, I'll say the ranges of the signals that are going out there, and the heat map of what's covered and what's not by the signals from the access point for where there may be holes, where there won't. And then if that doesn't fit your need, we will modify the design to include those gaps to be covered. It's a fully professional service, right? You get your own customized splash page so that when folks log in, they'll see your branding, your portal with your configuration. We do all the install. We do all the configuration. We give you customized SSIDs if you want them. And as always, 24/7 remote monitoring, right? And if you need anything done in terms of changing SSIDs, adding SSIDs, changing passwords, just give us a shout and we'll take care of it. Managed Wi-Fi, as Chris mentioned, is a Category 2 E-ratable product. So, and now lastly, I'll talk about managed DDoS protection. And I'm adding this in there because we talked about our Ethernet, we talked about our OTS, we talked about our internet. And obviously, once you have our internet, the ability to put Wi-Fi in is kind of an add-on to that internet, to that core product. It's an enabler, right? Another enabler is the managed DDoS protection, distributed denial of services. As you well know, many in this world are getting hammered by these attacks. But we have a product out there where we protect you from that, where it automatically identifies the attack coming in. It'll reroute that suspected volumetric malicious data away from your WAN interface to what we have. We call them our scrubbers, right? And we scrub that traffic and we pull out all of the malicious software and bad data out of there, and we ship it back to your WAN interface with just the good data. With that, you get a report. You shouldn't even feel it. It usually happens within 1 to 3 minutes, and you're back up, and you should never even feel the attack, is what we're seeing from other folks. It's all cloud-based within our core, right? And it's customized. So, because as we all know, new attacks are coming out every day. There are folks doing a whole bunch of things that are trying to bring your network down. And quite honestly, we have our experts on that fringe, understanding what those attacks are, what's coming next, and building those managed objects within our construct to help thwart those type of efforts. Now, lastly, given the fact that we are all in this world in the educational department, I can tell you that the summers have been a pain for some folks to have bills coming in for voice services. Now, while voice services are no longer an E-ratable product, they're a necessary component to the educational libraries, even some of the regular business out there. But for those folks that we have E-ratable business with, to show our commitment to you, right, what we are doing as a product organization, as Lightpath, as an overarching organization, is we are now going to put together a promotional effort to help ease that burden as now everybody's back in schools and coming back into the office. And while July and August seems to be the biggest lull in time when folks are going away on vacation, school is out, or there's really minimal use for summer school, we're going to offer credits to you folks for July and August when you sign up for voice services through Lightpath, right? If it's a three-year contractual term with us that you're signing up for, we'll make sure that July and August of the first, second, and third year are kind of credited so that you don't have to, not kind of, will be credited based upon, the signage of that contract, so that you don't have to worry about those bills at times when nobody may be there or minimal use is there. What I would suggest is being able to announce this here, that you contact your Lightpath account exec for more info and get the details on how to take advantage of that. Okay. With that, I believe that is my last slide. So I guess we'll go to questions and see if we received any here. Let me take a look here. Okay. So I have one question here, and actually I'm gonna send it over to Chris Shekian, and that's basically time frame of E-rate. Do we know the start and end dates and how they can reach out to Lightpath account execs to?
Absolutely. So So E-rate, even though it's E-rate season is officially open, so we are receiving 470 requests today. We actually have over 100 that have come in for this E-rate season. So we are actively working all of those opportunities and sending out the responses. So to answer the question, it is officially open, and we're ready for business. And if anybody on the phone or on the conference bridge does not know who their account executive is or how to make contact, you can see my contact information right there on the screen, as well as Lloyd Nilsson, who is on my team as well, who's a specialist in E-rate, and we will field those emails and get you properly taken care of and be there every step of the way, guiding the team. Thanks, Ken.
Nope, no worries. I got one other one, and I think I'll take this one. Managed Wi-Fi. You mentioned controllers. What manufacturer and what type of hardware do you use? Okay, so managed Wi-Fi, our controller is actually in the cloud. So I want to state that right up front. It's in our cloud so that we don't have to put that controller hardware on site to the customer. We utilize many of the Ruckus features, as well as CommScope and Ruckus have joined forces. Actually, CommScope owns them now. It used to be Ruckus and Aris that joined, and then CommScope bought them out. But we use a lot of the ICX switches, as well as the Ruckus. They were the 510s. We're upgrading to the 550s. And then there are obviously other models that are out there that we leverage for the use of that platform. So hopefully that answers the question. And that is a category 2, as Chris had mentioned earlier. So feel free to take advantage as best you can of those services. All right, let's see if there's any other. I don't see any more questions coming in at the moment. I don't know if you guys see any more that I might be missing.
I do not. And I'm sorry, Ken, I didn't answer your question fully that was presented on the chat. So E-rate season is open currently. It did officially open July 1st. I don't think I told you that. And it officially closes March 25th of 23. So if somebody was looking for the exact dates, those are the exact dates. Apologies for that.
Will there be a copy of the deck provided? I believe there will be a copy of the deck provided to all the folks who registered. And also it gets posted, I believe, on a website that you will receive as well. Or we can send it to you. Let me see if there's anything else. Cloud Connect. Can you state one more time who it is that we connect to from a Cloud Connect perspective? Sure. So today we have AWS. We are a AWS direct partner. We are a Microsoft C3 partner, which they are no longer actually taking any more partners. So that's a real differentiator for us. We are able to get to Oracle, Salesforce, any cloud provider out there today. So if there's any connectivity that you're going to be needing, feel free to reach out to us and we'll make it happen regardless of who they are. I believe that's all we have from questions here, unless you guys see something else. If not, then I would like to say thanks for joining us. I appreciate the opportunity again to get in front of folks and give them an overview of the product set. And Chris for giving us the updates on all the E-rate happenings going around, and Mike for doing the overview. So once again, if you guys have any questions or just want to reach out and see what else is able to be offered to you, feel free to do so, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Have a great
Thanks
afternoon.
for everybody's time today. Have a great rest of the day.